that she's put into trying to set it so everybody on the team has some meets that they can be a part of and go to and be a part of something. So she has mixed it all up in all different times and time standards. So we just wanted to make sure you're all aware of that. Also, you guys, if you have other questions, please feel free to email your child's or your swimmer's coaches as well. If you want to ask them for just meets that you think they should go to, or you guys can look at it after you hear it and decide as a family what's best for you. That's always the most important. So Danielle, we're going to not keep you long because we know all your time it's Sunday, and we know it's time is precious because we don't ever get enough time at home. As a joke. Anyway, Danielle, take it over.
Okay, Leah's going to pull up a screen, and while she's pulling that up, first I kind of want, most of you know, I'm the meet director for all of the AQJT meets. So when we attend another meet, I am not the meet director, which means I don't have control over anything that's happening at the meet. So, I know some of you, we just had some fun with the Rochester file and they sent us 6 files. That's a meet host. I don't have control over that. So I know a lot of meets in the last year I've actually run at other clubs. So some of you may think I'm the meet director for all meets, and that's not the case. I'm only the meet director for the AQJT meets. And then kind of just a step back on meet. Planning a meet is very complicated in the first place. And now you throw COVID in there. So what happens when you're planning a meet is every meet you have to abide by the capacity limits. So you have to figure all that out ahead of time. So as a team hosting a meet, I have to turn teams away. I have to allow teams in, I have to do all the numbers to figure out who's in and who's not in, because we have to meet capacity limits. And that's kind of why there's so many different options for everyone at AQJT, is to get everyone in within all the capacity limits of those meets. And then also, I just want to shout out to all the officials. Anytime your kid's at a meet, or if you're a volunteer on the pool deck, thank the officials. We couldn't have these meets without the officials. And they're all volunteer, based. So, please make sure to thank them, have your swimmers thank them. It means a lot to them. So if we go into February, is a little bit, probably maybe the easiest month. So we have the 2 meets at the AQJT pool. So February 6th and 7th, and then February 27th and 28th. Those are open. All AQJT swimmers can attend those. The first meet, we are going to have St. Croix and possibly the Otters and maybe some Mako swimmers come based on my capacity limits. At the end of February, we will have St. Croix, Rochester, and nobody else has asked at this point. We'll have to see where the limits are. But each of these meets, they're 3 sessions. Back for some of you that haven't been on the team or are newer, these meets at our pool used to be 1 session, was like 4 hours. These meets, for me to run them, I get there about 6 in the morning and I usually leave at 8 p.m. all day. And now they're 2 days. So the reason why we've spread them out is because, again, the capacity limits. I'm trying to get everyone into the meet by the different age groups. So then the next weekend for February, we have the old Vince Herring. It's the new Vince Herring format, is the 12th and the 14th. I was also able to get us some spots at Storm Invite at the University of Minnesota on Sunday only. Swimmers cannot attend both of these meets. The reason for that is we've committed to entries for Vince Herring, and we've also committed entries for Storm, different swimmers. If a swimmer takes a spot in both, Storm and Rochester can invite another team. They've already committed to their capacity limits. So part of it is that we are, I'm giving you opportunities. If Rochester doesn't work, then do the U, but don't try to do both. Don't drop out of Rochester to go to the U on Sunday and take another spot from another swimmer, either on our own team or another swimmer on another team. Because again, it's all capacity limits. We're kind of at the point where you have to pick one or the other on these meets, just to give people the opportunity. So we're trying to get everyone in. Rochester, the time standards are supposed to be silver. I'm pretty sure the event file is not doing that. So, you know, if you have a question, let me know, but I think I'll submit it as is at this point, because I've already pointed that out to them and they said they fixed it, but it's not. The U meet is completely open, which means you can have no times. You know, any time standard can go to the U that weekend or that day on Saturday or Sunday, sorry, Sunday morning.
Just Danielle, before you go on to that, if you have a no time, you need to get it okayed by your coach, by your swimmer's coach. We don't want someone in the 1,000, I'm sure that's not even given, with a no time. So you're going to have to get those okayed by your coach. This is not a normal year, as you all know. These are abnormal times. And so it's not like we can do normal swim meets for right now. Thanks, Danielle.
Yep. So that's February, and now we're going to move into March. So what we have going on in March is the first weekend offered there, March 12th and 13th. This will be 13 and over. There will be champ times. I don't know if they're going to be 13 to 14 girl champ times or 15 to 16 girl champ times. I have to figure all that out as I'm working with the teams that want to come. But it will be, if you have one or two, you basically will be able to swim the whole weekend. So that will be your meet in March. And the prelims will be at the prelims will be at AQJT, and finals will be at the University of Minnesota. We will most likely have to run 2 prelim sessions. If anyone was involved in that senior showdown meet in November, where we split up the teams to meet capacity limits and ran 2 prelim sessions that fed into 1 final session. So that will be that meet. The next weekend, March 18th through the 21st, this meet will be open. There will not be time standards. There won't be age restrictions. And that is where everyone else that didn't swim in the meet before will be able to swim in that meet. Rochester is going to hold me that many entries. And they're able to do that because they're sending some of their swimmers to my meet to open up more room for us to get more swimmers in on that weekend. So every swimmer in AQJT should be able to get into either one of those meets. We will make that happen. But you will not be able to swim both because you're taking a spot in both meets and you're taking spots from other teams. All teams in all of Minnesota are trying to find meets during this time. So we want to help be able to give them the opportunity as well. Then there's going to be Speedo sectionals in West Fargo. That's Speedo sectional qualifying times. The information I have is they will be the same qualifying times as last year's spring Speedo meet. That meet information is not out. All I know is that it's going to be 3 days instead of 4 days, and that will be held in West Fargo. And that sign up will be through the online system. So most likely Kate will have to do your entries. So you'll work with Kate if you're going to that.
And we'll have a sign up on our website as soon as meet information comes out, and then I will transfer that to online for USA Swimming.
And then into April, so AQJT's plan is that we want to give everyone like one end of season taper meet in March. And if things work out, we're hoping to give you another end of season taper meet in April. We're going to try to get everyone an opportunity to swim one big meet in March and one in April. So then if we move into April, there'll be 3 meet options. So the first weekend, it's going to be a 3-day meet, 12 and under. It will be gold time standards and above, and that will be at Rochester. During that same weekend, April 10th and 11th, I am going to run an AQJT meet that will be open all levels. So, you know, anyone can attend that meet. The next weekend, April 16th through the 18th, is going to be a 13 and over champ time meet. So again, we are only expecting AQJT swimmers to attend one of those 3 meets in April, based on their time standard, based on what works with their family on that piece. Or if you don't want to attend at all, that's fine too. You know, if you aren't not wanting to do an April meet, we're just going to provide the opportunity. I will have space at all those meets to be able to do that.
You have a question, Danielle. Is the Rochester meet 4 days in March? Just confirming that it's a 4-day meet.
Oh, did I get I might have mistyped the dates. That's totally possible.
It could be. I think it is. I mean, the meet information's not out. I mean, I think what they were thinking is on Thursday, they would do some kind of like the distance events and just run a couple distance sessions on Thursday and then start Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Again, you know, as everyone's trying to plan their meets, it's about numbers, it's about space, it's about, you know, they want to get everyone in. So if he needs to run, that one will not be prelims finals. So if he needs to, you know, run 8 sessions to get all the different teams in, all the different events, he'll fit that in that time frame.
I answered Amber's.
Okay.
Can I keep going? You have another question. The March
Yep.
Rochester meet in the note says 12 and under champ, but you said open to all times. Is it open to all time, no matter the kids' ages?
It is. The reason why we said 12 and under champ is because 12-year-olds can't go to the one before. So if you are 12 years old and under, you'll be going to March 18th, 21st, no matter your time standard. But if you're 13 and over and you don't want to go to the AQJT one, or you have MRC time, or if you have mixed times, you have some champs, some MRCs, and you want to go to Rochester, you will be able to, because there's no age limit on that, but you cannot attend both. I can go into the next slide. We can keep taking questions. I mean, we can unmute or unmic people and ask. So I know the other part that all of you are kind of wondering is, how does this fit into the Minnesota State Championship? How does this fit into MRCs? How does this fit, you know, what is Minnesota Swimming doing? What Minnesota Swimming is going to be doing is a Minnesota Swimming Virtual Leaderboard series. And if you swim in a meet from March 10th through April 18th, your best time can be used for the leaderboard. So each swimmer can pick up to 6 events to be part of the leaderboard competition. It will be your fastest time out of those 6 events. And the time period that you can swim is March 10th through April 18th. The final rankings will be submitted to Minnesota Swimming, and the rankings will be by single age category. So you'll have an 8 and under category, and then you can read the screen 9, 10, all the way up to 18 and over. The age update for this virtual leaderboard series will be March 10th. So you're into those results, your age will be whatever you were on March 10th. So when you're swimming the meet, you might be 13, but for this leaderboard, you might be 12. At the conclusion of the whole period, everyone is going to submit their events to Minnesota Swimming, and on the Minnesota Swimming website, we will rank everyone by champ time, MRC time, MAC time, in all of those different categories. And you'll be ranked by your ending time that you got. So if you swam an MRC time, you'll be ranked with MRC people. If you swam a champ time, you know, your final fastest time was a champ time, you'll be seated with the champ time people for results purposes. There will be some type of certificate available for top 8 that you can print off the Minnesota Swimming website and fill it out and put it in a plaque, or do whatever you want to do with it. And then Minnesota Swimming will compile the top 3 high point winners by each age group and gender. And I see there's questions popping in there. Do you want me to read through?
Leah, can you go back to the competition in March? In that one, perfect. So boys high school meet, I know, is like, isn't it March 12th?
Nope, it's the 18th through the 21st. So high school state will be that weekend. Sections will be March 12th through the 13th.
So with that in tow, then the boys are either, if they have Speedo section cuts, they'll go to Speedo in Fargo, North Dakota, and or the April 16th to the 18th for the boys high school. So those would be the meets for the boys. The other thing is, well, they haven't said it, but there's supposed to be another championship meet in April, but we don't know anything of it yet from USA Swimming. So we're just looking at those 2 meets for the boys high school. And another question was about swimmers who go to the March 12th through 13th. Can they go also to the March 20 to Speedo sections? Absolutely. You can go to both of those. Yep.
And if people have questions, I mean, you can unmute and ask them, that's fine, or put them in the chat, whatever works.
Do you want me to stop sharing so we can?
Sure.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to explain the boys high school one time again, because the boys high school section meets in the March 12th through the 13th, or whenever yours particular one is. The state meet runs the next weekend, the next week. And so the Speedo sections is in Fargo, North Dakota would be for the older boys. And then the other one would be for the boys in April. So those are the only meets for the boys high school swimmers who are swimming boys high school, and those who have Speedo section cuts.
If swimmers don't have silver times for Rochester meet, let me hold on and ask. I can email Rochester and see if I can get you an answer for that. I mean, if I would say it's supposed to be a faster meet, so if they're close to silver, that's probably fine. But if they're pretty far off, then the University of Minnesota, the Sunday meet might be a better fit.
Are there any other questions?
And I'm happy to put this PowerPoint up on the website too. So if you need to reference that grid again, if you just need to check details again, you know, I'll post it up on the website.
Danielle, this would be for you. Are spectators allowed at any of the venues?
At this time, no. AQJT will not be allowing spectators. Rochester will not be allowing spectators, and Fargo will not be allowing spectators. The reason for that is with capacity limits. To get more swimmers in, you can't have the spectators. All of those will be live streamed. You know, we live stream our meets. Rochester live streams theirs, and Fargo will be live streaming theirs as well. So. I mean, if things change where capacity numbers change, maybe spectators will start to come back. But, you know, we're basing all this on what it is currently and what we can do with the current guidelines so that we don't have to cancel things or change things dramatically.
We'll ask one more time. Are there any other questions? Will spectator restrictions apply to boys high school to state? We are not involved in that. That will be something it's a high school league that has to determine that, not us.
I can say
and
the
Daniel doesn't know that either.
Well, I would say the University of Minnesota will not be allowing spectators. There's no way they can with their capacity limits at the time. So.
All right. If there's no other questions, man, wow, record time. I mean, wow. You guys can all go to bed now, get an early bed to get ready for practice tomorrow. So anyway, thank you everybody. And thanks for being a part of this. And again, if you have any questions, please go to your coaches and ask them if you're wondering what would be the best meet for your child to be a part of. We appreciate your attendance, and we all appreciate you guys all so much, and we will see you soon. Bye everyone. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.